Good morning and happy Monday. It's time for another Mindful Play Monday Live, and today is episode 98. We are only 2 weeks or 2 episodes away from our 100th Mindful Play Monday Live episode, so I will be sharing more about a giveaway that we have coming up soon with several of our favorite small businesses and small shops for some really awesome opportunities to celebrate and help us enjoy that 100th episode coming up. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. For today, we're doing something a little more detailed. So usually for our Mindful Play Monday activities, they're super fast. You can kind of set them up as you're working with us or watching the video. For today, you do need to do a little bit of prep work, but I promise that it is worth it. So the materials that you will need are some yarn, just some regular yarn, some clear packing tape. You want the thicker packing tape there, some cardboard, scissors, and then we're using a gel pen, really any kind of pen, thank you, good morning, that you can open and take out that ink cartridge, because what we're going to actually use is the case like that, so the little outer piece. So a gel pen works great for this because we're going to use it as a guide or as kind of our needle with our yarn today. So you need a gel pen or something you can take the little ink out of, because what we are making is some really cool yarn drawings or yarn art, yarn paint. So the first thing you're going to do is start with a piece of cardboard and cut out your design or your shape. So we made some ocean waves to help remind us to go with the flow. You could also do something super simple like a circle and then use that as a maze, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. We just traced a plate. You could trace any circular object, make it as large or as small as you want to. Larger is going to give you a longer time with that activity. Or like I said, you can make a certain shape like a star, a flower, a cloud. We made the ocean waves to help us go with the flow. So your first step is going to be to get that thicker cardboard, just an old cardboard box you can recycle, and cut out the shape. So that's something the adult or the teacher is going to want to do ahead of time. Again, you're not going to want your children working with like a box cutter or the scissors on that thicker cardboard. So cut out the shape or the design that you would like first. And of course, you're going to leave a nice solid piece like a frame around and cut out the image in the middle. So to keep it simple, we traced a plate this morning to use a circular shape, and then you're going to fill it in with packing tape. So you're going to flip it over and add the tape to the back so that the sticky side is showing in the middle, because that's going to be the canvas for your yarn art. So the sticky side up, and you can see I've just got it taped to the back of the frame there. Now, like I said, you're going to want one of those gel pens or an ink pen that you can take the ink cartridge out of. So these are just some old gel pens. You can take the little cap off the back and then push that ink cartridge out, because you don't need the ink for this one. You're going to use the little canister or the pin holder there and thread your yarn through it. So to save us a little time this morning, I went ahead and did that. So I'm using yellow yarn for my circle. We're going to turn it into like a maze or the sun. I also have some blue yarn here that we used for our ocean waves to make our ocean go with the flow. Now these are reusable, which is the nice part of using that packing tape. You can just pull up. Isn't that some fun ASMR this morning? And remove that yarn so that you could then do it again, reload it back into your gel pen like so, and use it again and again and again. So let me take a look here. Now to get your yarn threaded onto that pin cartridge, the easiest way we found to do that is, again, just take that ink and kind of poke it down in there. And you'll see it'll start to slide through and you can pull it through on the other end. Now I'm going to angle you down a little bit so you can see how we're using this as a mindfulness art activity. So you can kind of see where we're going. You're going to need, of course, both hands for this. You can help your little ones get started by putting the non-dominant hand, the finger, down anywhere you like on your sticky canvas. So we'll just start right here and kind of push with one finger and then guide all the way around. And as you are tracing around whatever you've decided to cut out, like our circle here. You can have them rotate around. You can kind of help guide them. And I'm just going to do a nice little swirl pattern. So you can see I did not cut the end of the yarn. I'm using the whole roll there because I'm not sure how much I'm going to need to cover my whole object this morning. And if it is the first time you're doing it, you can leave it like that attached to the whole yarn roll. Do not cut it until you know how much yarn you're actually going to need. And using this is also a really nice fine motor activity. And let me scoot back so you can see a little better in the camera. And working on those tracing skills, the hand-eye coordination, and maneuvering around your design. So with this is a really nice, calming, repetitive movement. The same benefits that you notice adults with crocheting or weaving. It's kind of that nice, calming, repetitive motion. So you can encourage them to slow down, listen to that tape as it kind of pops and clicks as you go around. What sound do you hear as the yarn moves through the pen and around and around? And then as we reach the end of our design, you can also get some really good tactile input as you're going around and around to go back and then focus on breathing. You can trace those yarn patterns that you've made, nice soft little yarn design, and help guide the in and out of your breath. So if you just joined us, we're doing some yarn painting or some yarn drawing this morning. A nice mindful activity that's going to give us that sensory input, focus, and also a good visual representation of our breathing. Now, if I wanted to, I could trim the edge right there if that's going to be the end of my drawing. Again, these are all reusable. They're not super sticky, so I could pull it all the way back up and start over, or leave it attached to the yarn if I wanted to maybe do a different design. So maybe I want to use this and draw a happy face, or do a starburst, or do a sun shape. So really the opportunities are endless there, but I want to show how you can then use this as a finger tracer, starting at the end. And as you trace along, focus on your breathing. In, out. So each time you go in with those circles, or that circular shape, you're going to breathe in, going up. Hold when you get to the top, and breathe out. Tracing all the way around. So it's a nice visual tool that you can use for your breathing as well. A really cool, easy mindfulness activity that would be fun to set up for a calming corner, to set up in your quiet time bin, if you still have quiet time with your little ones, or your calming corner with your students. And really, it's fun for all ages. The kids went ape over this one because it's such a cool pattern and design. And then of course it's reusable, so you could use rainbow colored yarn, you could use different colors of yarn, just pull it off nicely and slowly and gently, and then you can start fresh with a new design. It's almost like using an Etch-a-Sketch, if you will. So you could kind of clear it off and then design it however you like. We just used, again, that gel pen, the outer casing of the gel pen, took the ink out like so, and then threaded our yarn through there to give us kind of like a pointer or a guide tool to help us with the yarn. But you can really make anything that you like. So we did the ocean waves earlier, kind of go with the flow, because we've been big in the ocean since spring break. So we like that ocean and wave theme to help remind us of our mindfulness. And then also just a simple circle. Again, you could do a flower, you could do a star, whatever design you like, or whatever theme goes with what you're learning about or brings your child or your student some joy. Put that packing tape through there. Again, we prepped this ahead of time with the cardboard and using scissors or a box cutter to cut out that design so that you don't have to worry about doing that with the little ones around, keeping our hands and fingers safe, and then handing it over once we've got everything prepped and ready to go. So really cool, nice tactile input, mindful sensory activity this morning, making some yarn art, yarn drawing or yarn painting. Give it a try. Let us know what you think and let us know what ideas you have for other themes. You could do like a really cool mountain scene and change the color of the yarn in between. Do some pretty purples or some blues for a mountain scene. You could do a cactus, you could do a tree, whatever mindful activity or whatever mindful theme brings you joy or goes with the themes that you're learning about. So as I mentioned, we will be sharing more in the next 2 weeks as we approach that 100th Mindful Play Monday episode. Be sure that you're following us both on Instagram and YouTube, and I will have more information for you shortly about that giveaway and all of the awesome small shops that we're partnering with for that. Have a great rest of your week. Work on your yarn art, and we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.